Okay, uh, tonight we're going to do the first chili that has come off of one of my plants that's a super hot. I only planted 3 super hots. Nagamorch is this one, a chocolate Bucholokia, and a scorpion. The scorpion never set pods, it's just a nice pretty plant, didn't do anything. I think I'm going to bring it in, maybe I'll get some pods later this year or early spring. But this Nagamorch produced pretty well. Only got the first crop, but it had about 9 or 10 pods on it. So let's try it and see how it is. I had really liked the Nagamorch compared to the Dorset and the what was the other one? Well, between the Dorset and the Naga, I like the Naga more. So what I want to do is I want to do this one, and I have another Dorset that Judy sent me, and then a Bucholokia, and I want to do them one right after the other the next 3 days so I can kind of be able to compare them a little better now. So let's slice this guy open. Nice. See the placenta there. Nice, and this was grown with probably 95 to 105 degree heat, so it's going to be pretty hot, I think. Has a nice fruity aroma to it. Actually, it smells, when I first sliced it open, I got a little bit of a fruity smell. Smelling up close, we can smell the capsicum. It smells pretty oily. Interesting. There's the other half. See the seeds in there. Lots of placenta on the sides of the walls. It's a nice and thin skin. This one actually was pretty spiky. I think you can see the spikes here on the side. I don't know if you can see the detail there, but this one actually came out pretty cool. So pretty happy with them. Decent size considering it was in a small little pot. Okay, so let's eat this piece and see what we get. That signature Boot Naga Dorset fruitiness just kind of and then comes back down when you get kind of a fresh flavor. This one, the skin is very, very plasticky. One thing I think I remember that was nice about Judy's Dorset was the skin was a little smoother, a little better chewing. This one, skin was very thin, a little more plasticky, but flavor's nice. Ooh, it's hot. Flavor's pretty mellow. Just a light hint of fruit. Here comes the big placenta pod part. Already feeling the good burn. These are from Cross Country Nurseries. So I had heard some. That's not good. I had heard some issues with people saying that it doesn't. A lot of the plants don't come true, but I haven't had any issues this year. I had about 20 of their plants, and all of them seem, well, the ones that did work, they all came out pretty nice. Okay, here's the last piece. Ooh. The flavor's pretty good, but it's still not. Man, that scorpion was just easy to eat, easy to swallow. chewed it, it just kept tasting good. This one, it's got a a nice fruity flavor, but kind of the capsicum switches back and forth between the fruit and the vapory capsicum, and actually kind of hard to swallow sometimes. You're like, yeah, good heat on this one. Lots of drool, back of the tongue, painful. Get to be a painful tongue burn. Whew. Yeah. And this was a small half. I missed the perfect half. Getting a burn, top back of the throat, sides of the tongue. It's been a while since I had one this hot. Wow. This is just under the 7. Back right here. Not the throat, but the tonsil area. Back of the tongue. It hurts. Very hot. Every time you swallow, it comes down the throat. Burns. Definitely have to say that growing conditions, I think, have a big thing to do with this, because when they talk about this thing is basically, none of my plants have done really well. This thing was half alive, didn't get a lot of water, just high heat. This thing just tastes very, very sharp pain. Back of the throat, sides of the tongue. It actually has a 7 heat to it. Very impressed. Where are we at? 7 minutes. This is more along the lines of like the Nagamorch that I saw Neil do, and you see some of those incredible faces he makes. Good thing these things are small. I can't imagine this thing any bigger. I think I'm going to have to send one of these out, get a second opinion. Very hot. Still hot. Sides of the tongue, top of the tongue, back of the throat is subsided. Every time I swallow though. It is different from the 7-pod though, because the 7-pod is like from here, this area here, and it's just that blowtorch, or the hot coal like they talk. This was from here up, this back upper part of the throat and tonsil area, and it's not like a blowtorch. It was like a, I don't know, like if you had a pin stuck in there. Just it was a sharp pain as opposed to like a burning sensation. It was just a sharp pain. Like maybe you sliced the back and then put oil and salt, or salt and vinegar in your open wound. Very different pain. Okay, it's starting to, it's definitely peaked. Still got some good drool. Really shocked that this is this hot. But you know, it's interesting, it has that feel, kind of the plasticky feel. It's very hard, spiky, bumpy, hard, almost like a 7-pot. Like Buddy 7-pot had that really hard, dense. That's kind of what I get here. And just like I said, when I was biting it, you could feel it was plasticky. Oh, still slightly uncomfortable. So, CCN Nagamorches, very nice. I'm impressed. Definitely have to steal some seed from this, and I'll use this as my Nagamorch for next year. Whew. Flavors, okay, not the greatest, but this would be nice if it's prolific. This year it wasn't, or I think I got 10 pods the first harvest. I think the second harvest would have been much nicer. Flavor's pretty good. I still think I like it better than the Indian Carbon. The Indian Carbon was just too much flavor for me. I think everyone else has liked it, and I think a lot of people would like it. This one's a little more mellow, and so is the Dorset. So I definitely like the Dorset and the Naga better than the Boots directly, but they're all three of them are tasty. And I think in powder you'd have a hard time telling the difference. So, okay, well, thanks for watching. Nagamorch CCN. Thanks. Bye bye.